Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at ClassiCube. This right here is something that I just discovered recently and I think it's really awesome. It's one of those Minecraft clones of sorts, kind of similar to CaveX, which we took a look at back a couple months ago where I installed it on the Nintendo Wii. ClassiCube here is a re-implementation of Minecraft Classic 0.30, that's from late 2009, that can run on older systems that normally would have trouble running regular Minecraft. And the list of supported platforms is kinda nuts. This thing can run on Windows 95, Windows 98, macOS 10.3 Panther, some old versions of Android, even Haiku, which, I should do a video on that sometime. There's also plans to bring it to the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii, so if that ever happens, you bet I'm going to be doing a video on that. But for now, I went ahead and fired up the good old Windows 98 PC to check this out. Now you can download ClassiCube from the website, I'll have the link down below, and they've also got the source code available on GitHub. This is an open source project. It's written in C, and it says on the GitHub page that ClassiCube has a goal of creating an experience identical to the original Minecraft Classic by strictly following a clean room reverse engineering of the original clients. And it actually adds some more features as well. So I've got the Windows version here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and copy this exe out of here and paste it into another folder, and I'll show you why I'm doing that once we launch the client here. So when you run it for the first time, it will first initialize the font cache, and then it'll ask you to download some files for the game to actually function properly, and it will create those files in the folder wherever the exe is. Now on Windows 98 and these older Windows versions, when you click yes here, it will download some of these files, but it will eventually error out like this, and this has to do with the client not being able to download these resources over HTTPS. And I'm sure we all know that these older versions of Windows and the older web browsers that run on them do not play nicely with HTTPS. When you try to go to a site using it, it usually just errors out and just refuses to connect to it at all. So that's what's going on here. So you can still play the game, you can just click cancel here, but you won't have any audio at all, no sound effects and no music. So what I've done is a way to get around this is to just run this executable on a modern Windows system, have it download everything, and then copy all that stuff over to the Windows 98 computer or whatever machine that you're running it on. And so now if I go into the audio folder, you'll see that I've got all these files here, whereas in this folder, if I go into audio, there's nothing at all. So we're going to go ahead and run the executable from within this folder, and you will get this same pop-up, and if you say yes, it will error out, but you can just click OK and cancel and still get into the game. Now, it will ask you to sign into your account, and if you don't have an account, you could click register down here to create one on the ClassiCube website, but you don't actually have to sign into an account to play single player or to directly connect via an IP address to your own server, for example. And we'll do this a bit later on in this video because I've got a bunch of computers set up running ClassiCube that we can all get to join the same server, so that'll be pretty cool. There's also an options button down here where you can change the theme of the launcher. You've got a classic look, which looks the most authentic. You have a Nordic look, and you can also just customize all these values for each of these elements yourself, however you want. We're going to select the classic look here, and you got some options down here if you want to have empty servers show up in the list, if you want to close this after the game starts because it will remain open by default. You can use display scaling. You can also change the mode of the game. So Classic is going to be the most authentic experience. Classic plus hacks gives you the ability to enable no clip, fly, and speed, and Enhanced will give you more blocks and the ability to change environment settings like the color of the clouds, the sky, all sorts of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. We're going to select Classic for now. So without any further ado, we're going to click on single player here to have it generate a world for us, and here we are in a freshly generated ClassiCube world, which, I mean, you can see what I'm talking about. It looks identical to Minecraft Classic, and not only that, look at how freaking smoothly it's running here. We're getting consistently over 100 FPS, 150 FPS, getting up to 170 now. I mean, it's just crazy to see that on a Windows 98 era system. Now, this computer, for those who don't know, does have half a gigabyte of memory, which is like overkill for a Windows 98 era system, and it's got the NVIDIA GeForce FX 5200 which has 128 megabytes of onboard video memory. So, you know, it's able to run it pretty freaking well. But every other system that I've thrown this at has been able to run it relatively fine, and certainly better than regular Minecraft, I can tell you that. But it's just really awesome to see this game running this smoothly here on a Windows 98 system. So yeah, and you can also, I mean, we got the C418 music playing in the background, those lovely tracks. We've got those sound effects. And yeah, we can place blocks. You can hit B to open up your block selector here. Oh, this really takes me back. I know I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I used to play Minecraft. I started playing it back in 2009, before there was even a downloadable client. You would play it in your web browser. And in fact, you can play ClassiCube in your web browser as well. You just need to have a browser that's capable of running the game, which Internet Explorer 5 on Windows 98 is certainly not, so you have to download the client itself. But yeah, I mean, you got a bunch of blocks to choose from. We can go into the options menu here, or just the game menu, and you can see how close this looks to the regular Minecraft menu. Go to options, maybe we want to turn off the music, turn off the sound effects, invert the mouse, and you see we're at far render distance, by the way. You can change your FPS limit if you want to, you know, limit it to VSync or 30 FPS, 60, 120, 144, or have no limit at all. Change your controls here. I mean, it's really awesome. And this is just the classic, really faithful to the original Minecraft Classic mode. If we go back in here and change this to Classic plus Hacks and start a world here, it'll generate a new world for us. You can save these worlds, by the way. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But now I can press, I believe it's Z here, to turn on flying. So you can see now I'm flying around. I can hold, I believe it is Control, yeah, to just zoom around, turn on speed. And I can, yeah, I can fly, I can move up, I can hold down E. I can turn on no clip by, I believe that is, it's X. Yeah, so there we go. So I can just zoom through this world super fast. You can see all the caves and stuff down here. Again, this really takes me back to the classic Minecraft days. And yeah, so we can go into options here. I believe the options are, okay, well, you can turn off hacks here if you want to just disable all of them. But all these options are like the same, although we do have, hang on a second. Yes, you can change controls for the hacks, that's right, so you can modify all this stuff. Anyway, let's go ahead and show you how to save the game. So you click on Save Level here, type in a name, we'll call this Hacks, hit Save. And now it saves it to maps.hacks.cw, that's the file format it uses. So if we go in here to maps, there it is. And here's another world that I had generated when I was messing around with this off camera. So yeah, now if you want to load a level, like I say I want to load this other one, I can click that. And here we are. And if I want to go back into hacks, I can do that, and here we are. So it's that simple. Now, the really cool thing is if we go to options here and change the mode to enhanced, and we start a single player world here and have it generate a new world for us, you can change the texture pack. So you've got this ClassiCube.zip in here, which just modifies all the textures. Now this is where you've got this new E and V settings, where you can literally change the hex code for all sorts of stuff. The clouds color, the sunlight color, shadow, you can change the weather. You want it to be snowy, why not? If I can actually hit the right thing there. You can change the snow speed. You want this to be super zoom in, set this to 1,000, or well, I guess 100. What happens if you set it to over 100? We'll just default to 100. It'll set back to 1. Okay, so we do 100, hit OK, and look at how freaking fast that's going. Change the water level. Let's change that to 2048. And hit OK. Oh, look at that. Maybe change the cloud height to like 1. And now the clouds are going to be like much closer to us. We can change, let's see here, the clouds color. You want to make the clouds black, set it to all zeros, hit OK. Maybe the sky color. Let's just type in a random hex code here and see if that's actually, oh yeah, check that out. So now we got black clouds and a teal looking sky. So maybe change the cloud speed to 1,000. So now those are going to be, oh yeah, check that. And check this out, take a look at the FPS counter. We are getting consistently lower FPS than we were getting before, which makes sense with all this craziness going on. But we are still getting over 60 FPS consistently, which is nice. So yeah, but that's some of the cool stuff you can do in the enhanced version of ClassiCube. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a server. I've got 3 other computers over here behind the camera, all running different operating systems, and we're gonna connect them and the 98 PC here to a server and just see how that works. So let's check that out. Alright, so from left to right, we've got the HP laptop running Haiku, future video on that coming soon. We've got the Dell Latitude Z610 running Windows XP, and we've got my mid-2009 MacBook Pro running macOS 10.6 Snow Leopard. And we're going to go ahead and connect all of them to the server. And now I'm going to connect the 98 PC to the same server, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now, I am using the MC Galaxy server software. If you go to the ClassiCube website, there are a couple of different pieces of server software that you can use, but this is just one of them, so I just downloaded it. Really simple to set up. And, I mean, you can see that we're all here, like all 4 of us. Now, I can't control the other 3 laptops at the same time that I'm controlling this, obviously, so I just got them kind of set up there, and they're just stationary. And if you notice, the Haiku system is definitely getting the worst FPS, and I attribute that to me not having the proper graphics driver installed on it. So we're getting, like, under 20 FPS consistently when moving around, which kind of sucks. But it's still, you know, playable somewhat. But the XP system and the Snow Leopard system do just fine. The XP system gets over 200 FPS consistently. And the 98 system here, you can see we're doing super well, getting almost 300 FPS here. Of course, there's not as much going on in this world as we had in that other world I was just in, where we had the clouds and all that stuff moving super fast. But we're all here. I mean, we've got 4 players in this one server. So yeah, you could easily set up your own server, get a bunch of computers, like all, you know, network together, all to join this server. In fact, maybe, I don't know, I'm kind of creating more work for myself here, but maybe that would be something to do in like a future video. Just get like every computer that I have that's capable of running this game, network them all together, and try to connect to the server software that I've got running. And yeah, that would be quite the video. So I guess let me know if you want to see that video. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, all that good stuff. And if you really enjoyed this video, and if you want to get early access to my future episodes, I do have a Patreon that you can check out down below. But either way, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.